Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of CDI Live. My name is Spencer Grogan. I'm a member of the marketing team here at CDI, but today I'm joined by two gentlemen who had the unique privilege of getting to attend Microsoft Ignite. So, live from Seattle, Washington, I'd like to introduce you to Mike Shellenberger and Dillon White. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Tired.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So
A lot
Perfect.
of
Perfect.
lot
Yeah,
of
you're a little far
information.
away. Absolutely. So, I guess first question, real big question is what's it like being there in person? Dylan, tell me what it's like.
in person was good. It was good for everybody, I think. Figuring out that people want to be around people again. So here in Ignite, we were able to meet with a few of CDI's good customers, right? So we were able to talk to them, see what's going on. Then we just got to talk to people in general. We just got to have chats and lines you don't usually get to have chats. But then Mike and I got to hang out as just two friends and see a lights show. So it was really cool. It was a good time.
That's awesome.
I'm just telling you,
All
listen
right.
to Daft Punk with lights isn't bad.
I can imagine. Yeah, it sounds like a great time. Um, so for both of you, what's been your favorite session so far?
Yeah, I can go. So the one that comes to mind they were all great. Just fantastic content, a lot of cool new product announcements. But the one that really stood out for me, being on the modern management side, was a session called "Fortified Security and Simplicity Come Together with Microsoft Intune." They could have just called it Intune Suite. Because it was a lot of updates to the Intune Suite, some really neat new capabilities coming out with tools like advanced endpoint analytics. So that was definitely my favorite session. That was last night.
Nice, man. No, that's a good one, especially with the cloud PKI. It's gonna be big for you guys. I think for
Huge.
me, the big session was definitely over the SSE, right? Because I think CDI we're probably one of the bigger SSE partners in ecosystem space with Zscaler, Palo. So just seeing what Microsoft brings to the market, lots of conversation pieces there. So it's definitely a good one. We'll have the links for those two in the notes for sure.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, I'll go back to you for this one. You guys will both answer this one. Well, let's start with Mike here. Can you tell me some key takeaways you've had so far while being there?
Yeah, I was sharing with the guys yesterday. I didn't realize how much I didn't know about AI. And this conference has been so focused on AI. It's kind of a running joke. You yell out Copilot because Copilot is in every session. Everyone's talking about it. It's just crazy. But some acronyms were thrown around, and some open source tools and things were named yesterday. And I leaned over to Dylan. I'm like, "Do you know what any of this stuff means? Like, I've never heard of this stuff before." And I think we're in good company. I think a lot of folks realize that we've all got a lot of learning to do. It's going to be a huge revolution here moving to AI.
Yeah, I would agree on that. I would second that. I have no idea, right? A lot of like AI stuff, data in general, just goes over my head. So when it comes to technology, it's something I have to dig in deep on and use different parts of my brain I usually don't. And I think, but for me, the key takeaway is like staying on the security side that I do is like, we have a very big vendor space. Like when we sit with a lot of partners and have those conversations, it's how do we keep it secure, right? How do we integrate tools like Tanium? How do we integrate tools like ServiceNow, right? Like it's lots of good conversation pieces there. So like it's definitely stuff that we hear from our customers all the time. We hear it when we talk to them. So it's lots of key takeaways that we're gonna have to go digest and figure out what it means for CDI going forward.
That's fantastic. Sounds like a job for you guys, but I'm going to leave that one to you guys. So, Mike, back to you for this one. So, from what I understand, there's some online sessions as well. So, how can customers leverage utilizing those online sessions?
Sure. Yeah. So it was a hybrid conference this year, and I think Microsoft is kind of getting back to more of the in-person event, which, as Dylan said, was great. Right, a lot of networking opportunities. But for those that aren't willing to travel or just could not make the conference, they offer a free online event as well. So a lot of the sessions were recorded. So you can just go to ignite.microsoft.com, register or sign in to the event, and you can watch a lot of those episodes. So it's really helpful actually for the team that was here from CDI. I know a lot of us put you have something called the digital backpack where you can go in and mark sessions for follow-up later. And we were all saying how many sessions we have in our digital backpacks to now go back and review. It's going to be take a couple weeks to get through the backlog. I have a feeling it's just so much good content. But yeah, ignite.microsoft.com. A lot of the sessions are in there.
Awesome. Awesome. Good to know. So, Dillon, going back to you, obviously all of us here are from CDI, so I have to ask, how is CDI orienting ourselves within this market?
I think it goes back to the question right before Mike's talk about the backpacks and saving your session, right? Like we're a partner. At the end of the day, like it's very much a partner ecosystem. Microsoft's one of the largest ones in the world, right? So how do we as CDI take that what they're doing, but then take it back to customers, but also take it back to partners and say, hey, we can integrate, we can tell the better together stories, right? So that's what it's about for us as CDI. Like so, going back for Mike and talking the Tanium story, right? Like that's gonna be big. Going back for me, talking about how we can do multiple different SSE products at the same time with Microsoft. It's huge. So that's how we got to figure out how we're going to go to market. But 24 looks like it's going to be a good one.
That's fantastic. And then my last question, if Michael Scott has taught me anything, when you go to a conference, you have to be on the lookout for swag, the stuff we all get, right? So, Mike, I think you have the greatest piece of swag to show off here today.
I do. So Control Up, great partner. They actually sponsored the giveaway of about, I think, 100 or 200 of these Mastering Windows 365 books. And I had the opportunity to actually attend the session of one of the authors, Christian Brinkhoff, who's a product manager here at Microsoft. So I was able to actually get him to autograph my book too, which was super cool. So that is definitely my best piece of swag. Runner-up would be the USB charging cable that I got because Dillon broke mine when we got here. So I got a new one.
Sure. Thanks for putting me on the spotlight.
I know this is a little off the cuff, but Mike, from what I remember, you have a heck of a view right now. Could you show that off to everybody who's watching? Show off what's going on around you real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sitting in kind of the atrium area right now. And so you can see there's the downtown view of Seattle, and this is the inside of the convention center. This is the new Summit building, which is a lot larger than the rest of the conference center, which is across the street there. You probably can't see with the sun glare, but the convention center that the conference was held in last year is kind of across the street there. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for showing that off. Well, guys, Mike, Dillon, I really appreciate you taking some time out of the schedule to come and to give us a slight recap, kind of a debrief into everything that you guys have gotten to do and see so far. Just from my point of view, it looks like it's been a heck of a time. So thank you so much for joining us in that. Please, if you're joining us at home, feel free to follow CDI on LinkedIn, or if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. It's the only way you're going to get the most up-to-date CDI content, including these CDI Lives, including a full recap of Microsoft Ignite that we'll be doing in 2 weeks on November 29th. You can also join us again on Wednesday, where CDI CTO of Security, Felix Vargas, will interview CDI CTO of Modern Applications, Russell Pope. And they will be talking about all things application security. So don't miss out on that opportunity to have all of your questions answered by the experts. And then finally, if you have any questions about this CDI Live or any other CDI Live, feel free to reach out to your existing account representative or follow us on LinkedIn, reach out, and we'll be sure to get you in contact with the right people. Until next time, thank you for joining us today. For CDI, Mike, Dillon, Spencer Grogan. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.